2 on the brakes. Clear prop!
Bravo, Roger, you can taxi Alpha cross 15 on Alpha to Steins with me.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the channel. Hey, it just snowed for the first time in our area, and this is going to be my first flight in all this snow, so the landscape should look pretty cool, I think. I'm looking forward to having something a little bit different.
Jet speed 847 with Mike Ivor to Peterborough.
And I also thought to do something is just to talk through a flight to teach everybody out there in YouTube land what it takes to fly a BushCat. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to kind of talk through, and I've got Bob here, and he's got an extra camera in the right seat, and he's pointing it over at the instrument panel, so we'll have some close-ups of the instrument panels as we go through the flight, and I'll be able to cut to those every once in a while. A lot of you have been asking me about the Canardias, and you'll get to see it in action today. So let's see, for the flight, I think we'll just do the regular modern display, and that should look pretty good. So Bob, do you think you can handle that camera okay?
Oh, come on, let's get on with this.
Yeah, fine. We got to warm up, all right? So we got to get our information, so just sit tight, okay? All right, well, it is very cold out, everybody. It's like 18 degrees Fahrenheit, and it takes a while for the BushCat to warm up. It's a Rotax engine, a 912 ULS, and it does take some time for it to warm up. Sometimes I'm on the tarmac for 10-15 minutes before we're warm enough to actually take off. But hey, that's so if that's the only negative to the BushCat, then we're sitting pretty here. So we're just warming up right now. I'm throttling up to around 2,400 RPM. That will warm the engine up a little bit. I try to be downwind, and I think I am today because they're a little bit from this side. So it's just a waiting game at this point. But while I wait, I'll go get my information, and we'll get set for a fun little winter flight. So come along. So while we're waiting, the Canardia, we've got twin panels here, as you know. I usually leave just the modern display on the right side, and I have this display on the left, which is a combination of the modern display along with my nav screen. This is my favorite screen, and this is the screen that I use all the time. Okay, I'll show it to you over here on this side. So there's Kenosha Airport. That's where we are stationed right now. That's the position we're in, actually, on the tarmac. So we've got the engine RPMs here, manifold pressure here, cylinder head temperatures here, exhaust gas temperature here, oil temperature here, oil pressure here, fuel pressure there, volts, and then fuel level as well. Just to check that fuel level, make sure we're there. Yeah, we're good. We're going to go back here. Here we have a screen, basically a 6-pack, all customizable if you want to. Then a complete nav screen. Engine monitoring this way if you want. And then that modern display panel once again. All right, we're at 90. Going to do the run-up. We're going to put the auxiliary fuel pump on. And since it's this cold and the engine is not as warm as I want it to be, I'm not going to run it up too much. About 3,500 RPM, no more. All right. Catch the drop. That's good. Back up. Touch the drop. Back up, that's good. Okay, fuel pump off, holding pressure, fuel pump back on, idle check. All right, we are ready to rock. All right, Kenosha ground, lights forward, 687 Sierra Tango, at the West Tees, ready for a taxi and westbound departure. I've got Mike.
Sport 70 Tango, commercial ground, 25 left, taxi via Echo 1 Charlie, cross 25 left at Echo 1.
Taxi via Echo Charlie, cross 25 left at Echo 1, 70 Tango.
Ground, just speed 847, north ramp, ready to taxi with Mike.
Speed 847, commercial ground, 25 right, taxi via Alpha, cross 15.
25 right via Alpha, cross 15, just speed 847.
I'm doing a steering check here. Always want to make sure that the wheels are going to go the way I want them to go when I do steer. Brake check real quick. The brakes on the BushCat are amazing. They're really strong. And I love that they're toe brakes. That was a new improvement that I really like. So one thing you got to notice by taxiing a BushCat is that your seat is angled in almost 7 degrees from going straight, which does screw up your line of sight a little bit. So if you want to be right down the center line, which I'm hoping to be right now, we'll see, you got to get that center line a little bit left of the bump of the cowl, and I usually use maybe about 2 or 3 inches off that bump to be right on for the center line. Not too much wind today, so you don't have to do too much correction with the stick while you're taxiing. Got maybe a 7-knot wind, 8-knot wind, maybe not much more. So we have a longer taxi. We got to go to 25 left. By the time we're ready to go, we should be at temperature at least close to what I want it to be.
Sport 70 Tango, cross runway 33 on Charlie.
Cross 33 on Charlie, 70 Tango. I love Kenosha Airport. The controllers are really nice. They know me now, so I usually don't hear things like, "What are your intentions?" They know my intentions. When I land, I go to the fuel pumps. If you're a sport pilot that is a little intimidated by the thought of flying around and in and out of a control tower airspace, don't do that. Don't be intimidated by that at all, because it is so nice to have some extra eyes on the area, and they make it quite easy. And realize controllers are there to help you. They are your friends. So just talk to your instructor. If he's not inclined to get you signed off and give you an endorsement for Tower Fields, convince him that it's always a good thing to do. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I had that done, because we hangar at a controlled powered airfield. It's a Class D, Kenosha. So I remember first time talking to the tower, I was so nervous. I could hardly speak. Couldn't fly and talk at the same time. I'm going to try to do that with this flight, but if I get quiet, don't take it personal. Fly the airplane first, right, Tom?
Well, actually, you want to eat first.
That's right, Bob. Okay.
Display 847, roger, stand by for release.
Okay. Turn to the tower frequency. Check everything else is in the green. That's looking good. Don't think we're going to get any warmer than where we are. How it is when it's this cold outside. Kenosha Tower, lights forward, 6870 Tango, holding short of Charlie 1 at 25 left, ready for takeoff.
70 Tango, Kenosha Tower, 25 left, clear for takeoff, proceed on course.
Clear for takeoff, 25 left, on course, 70 Tango. All right, flaps 1, always for takeoff at the BushCat. Looking to rotate around 42 miles an hour. Got almost a direct crosswind here. All right, here we go. Airspeed's alive. Oh, we're already there. Good grief. Woohoo! Oh, I love winter flying, man. The performance is amazing. Climbing like a rubber ball.
Jet speed, excuse me, 847, Crush Tower, turn right, heading 040, runway 25 right, clear for takeoff.
Right turn 040, runway 25 right, clear for takeoff, jet speed 847.
70 Tango for now, just fly the runway heading.
Fly the runway heading, 70 Tango. So as you can see, there's lots of fog from my breath. I have not put on the heaters yet. So for the time being, we're just going to be a little bit cold. It really isn't that bad inside the cabin right now. It's 18 degrees outside. I would say it's about just under freezing inside here.
Here, Papa, Crush Tower. What's your position again?
I'm about 8.5 miles.
So flaps up at around 1,400 feet.
Here, Papa, report entering a full left downwind, runway 25 left.
Report left downwind for 25 left, 620 Papa.
Okay, the tower told me to fly the runway heading for a while. There's some traffic here. All right, backing off on the power just a little bit. Going to level off at 1,800 feet or so.
Commercial Tower, Bonanza 191 Bravo Fox, 12 miles southeast of the field, inbound for landing, information Mike.
1 Bravo Foxtrot, what's your position again?
We are 12 southeast of the field.
You're due southeast of the field?
Yes sir, on the lakefront.
Okay, I show you about 12 to the southeast. I'll get back to you. Jet speed 847, contact departure, good day.
Our departure, jet speed 847, good day.
70 Tango, proceed on course.
On course, 70 Tango. All right, so now we're going west.
You're way further southeast than you said, so report a 4-mile final, runway 25 left.
Report 4 miles final, 25 left. On Bravo Fox.
All right, checking all my instruments. Okay, we are at temperature now, so now we're going to turn on the heat. We got 2 of them in the BushCat. One there, one for each side. Oh, that feels good. Woo. Oh, yeah. In about 10 minutes or so, we'll be pretty toasty. So I'm flying westerly now, and I'm not one to want to fly much more than 2,000 feet, a little below. We're at 1,800 right now. A BushCat is made for low and slow. That's what it's designed for. I've been way up high. It's much more interesting looking below and seeing the landscape. Speaking of which, the landscape's looking pretty good today. I just love the snowscapes. Got a little bit of bumpy air today. You always think it's only in the summertime that you get convection. Well, no, if the sun is out, there's going to be some heating, even if it's cold. The temperature differential is just a little bit off. You'll get some turbulence, just like we're getting now. So let's make a right turn. I have discovered that if I lead with my rudder just a little bit, it makes the turns perfectly coordinated. You don't need a lot of rudder with a BushCat, but I find that as I'm turning, which I'm going to do now, a little bit of right rudder pressure on a right turn keeps the ball right there in the center, and just a little pressure on the stick. You don't have to do much. That's just a gentle, 10-degree turn. And now we're going north. Okay. Winds are northwesterly today. To go straight, keep a heading. Got to crab a little bit left here. That's what we're going to do now. Now, if you're going to make a turn kind of steeply, maybe a 45-degree angle turn, then you're definitely going to have to put some back pressure on that stick in that turn. All right, checking my nav screen, I want to make sure I don't see any traffic on the ADS-B. I always want to look left and right and everything around before I made a turn. Even though I didn't mention that in the first turn, but I did look, make sure I'm clear. So let's make a westerly heading one more time, and we'll go toward Bong Recreational Area, which I see right to my left. So we'll do a 45-degree angle turn here. So, left stick. Check it out. There we go, 45. Now back pressure on that stick. If you don't, you're not going to be able to hold that. There you go. One thing you're going to discover about a BushCat, that the stick is what you would call a heavy stick. It is not light on the touch at all. Not everybody likes that, but I do. I trained in a light sport aircraft that was very twitchy, very touchy, very light control movements, and it was a booger to fly. I did not enjoy flying it at all because it was so twitchy. The BushCat's not like that. I mean, you have to use some muscle, especially in the ailerons. And the upshot of that is that it makes your motions, it makes your movements much more graceful, and the airplane feels a lot bigger than it is. This is an 800-pound airplane, empty weight. It's as light as you get, but it sure don't feel like it. I've flown in bigger airplanes, 172s, and this airplane feels bigger than a 172, which I really do like. So I'm gonna grab a heading here right toward Bong Recreational Area. You see it on the cameras. This was a military base that was never finished. They got the rock bed finished for the runway, as you can see right in front of us, but they never finished it. I don't know what happened. Funding ran out. I think this was shortly after World War II. They saw no need, and so they turned it into this big, gigantic state park, which is just all prairie grass. And right below us is where I used to fly my RC airplanes. Before we moved to our farm and I had my own RC airfield, we came to Bong to do that. And let's go ahead and fly around it. Gonna go right here, turn. I'll try to get the wing camera on it so we can see. All right, so I'm just gonna, all right, we're right above it right now. Let me make a steep turns here and try to circle that field. That's how I got into this hobby, RC flying. It was amazing. Really enjoyed it. There it is. You can see it, actually that T, the north-south and east-west runway. I don't know if you got it there or not. Make another turn here. My intention is not to be flying long, so I think I'm already going to start heading back. I wanted to cover a few more things about flying this airplane. Now the BushCat does not have an autopilot, and to that I say, I don't care. First, I would prefer to fly the plane anyway. I didn't get an airplane for the purpose of letting a machine fly it for me. I prefer to fly it. Secondly, the BushCat trims out so nice that on nice smooth days like this, I'll trim it out real nice. Trim is here on the just between the two seats. And once it's trimmed out, I mean, it's hands-off flying. Even with the bumpy air that we have right now, I'm enjoying the view. And once you got the airplane trimmed, I mean, it just purrs along. My wife and I have taken long cross countries, and there was one time that we went all the way to Mount Vernon, Illinois, and it was very quiet air. It was, you know, not very turbulent at all. I dare say, I would say 2.5 of that 3-hour flight, I was flying like this, hands off. BushCat trims out nice. Really does. All right, go get our information here from the tower.
10, skies clear, temperature -9, dew point -17, altimeter 3028. Visual approaches in use, landing and departing, 25 right and 25 left. Advise on initial contact your intention and that you have information, Mike.
Hey, Mike is still active. Why don't we try some slow flight? And to that, I'm going to go a little bit more westerly. We'll have a little bit of a headwind to do that. Makes it a little bit easier. Then I'm going to climb a little bit higher. And I'll show you some slow flight of the BushCat. Oh, it's beautiful out here. Oh, I love this. So many lakes in this county. Lakes everywhere. Really like that. So, slow flight is, you know, basically you get ready to land the plane, you got to get it slow. Get into a landing configuration. So we're going to back off on the power a little bit here. And we're going to trim for slow flight. Okay, we're in the white arc, so let's go ahead and just do full flaps. One thing about the flaps on the BushCat, slows the plane down in a hurry. All right, so we're at 57 miles an hour. Get it even less than that. So at full flaps, back off on the power a little bit more. Now we're getting around 54. The BushCat has no weird stall characteristics. Very straightforward. And honestly, it's kind of difficult to get it to brake. Even if I got the stick aft all the way and trying to get it to stall, it doesn't want to do it. It just starts to mush, and then just kind of descends. I've been able to get it to brake when it was on a power on stall. I'm not going to actually stall the plane because we're a little bit low, but I do want to get it right to the brake. And so we're at 48 miles an hour, 47. But I have discovered at about maybe 45, 44, 43, BushCat will let you know that it's not happy in what you're doing. It'll give you a bobble. It'll give you a shudder in the wings, and it's pretty pronounced. See if I can get it to do it. All right, 44. My Canardi is saying stall, stall, stall. Back off on the power a bit more. Stick back, stick back, stick back. 44, 43. Still has not stalled. Okay, now the wings are starting to flutter a little bit. 43, yeah, there's the bobble right there. Oh, there we go. Okay, BushCat lets you know. Okay, full power. Get some speed back here. There we go. Trim back down for level flight. Okay. Such a docile airplane, I'll tell you. It is docile. Easy to fly. Easy to land, I'll tell you. Cannot say enough about this airplane. Heaters are working really good. I know it doesn't look like it's warm, but it is. Actually, I feel very toasty right here. So, a little nip on the nose, a little bit, I would say, here it's about maybe 40 degrees. Here it's about 60. All right. Looking left and right. Everybody's clear. No, nobody's flying today, it seems like. I don't see anybody flying around. Nothing's showing up on the radar. Just beautiful. I see Camp Lake Airport. Let me tune to Camp Lakes Airport, and we'll do a low pass. Camp Lake traffic, BushCat 70 Tango, 1 mile to the north. Inbound for a low approach, 18 Camp Lake. Camp Lake traffic, BushCat 70 Tango, short final, low approach, 18 Camp Lake. Camp Lake Airport is one of my favorite haunts. A fellow by the name of Elliot owns it. Been working on it. Looking forward to some good things in the future, fly-ins and stuff like that. Drop it down. Got some chop here. Kenosha Tower, light sport, 6870 Tango, 7 miles to the southwest at 1,900, inbound for landing with Mike.
70 Tango, Kenosha Tower, report a mile southwest, left downwind, 25 left.
Report a mile southwest for a left downwind, 25 left, 70 Tango. All right, we're coming in. Pattern altitude for Kenosha is 1,800. And before I get to the downwind, I usually like to get my plane slow.
Yankee Bravo.
Slower.
25 right, taxi, altitude up.
And general rule is 80, 70, 60 miles an hour. 80 on the downwind, 70 on the base, 60 for your final. When I'm just about ready to round out, I'm about 50 miles an hour. Usually touching down at around 48, something like that. Oh, the airport is in sight. All right. Okay, we're going to start descending here a little bit. Okay, pattern altitude. Trim it back a little bit. Almost in the white arc. Kenosha Tower, light support 6870 Tango, left downwind 25 left.
Light support 70 Tango, 25 left, clear to land, wind 28084.
Clear to land, 25 left, 70 Tango. All right. So I'm at 78 miles an hour on the downwind, well into the white arc, but I'm not gonna put my flaps in until I actually power off and start descending after the numbers. When I'm on beam of the numbers, then I will put in the flaps. I have taken not to do it incrementally. I just go full flaps. It just, you know, I guess anybody, you can do it, you know, flap 1, then flap 2, like when you're turning final or whatever. I just like full flaps right away. That's just how I fly. All right, there we go. Kenosha Airport. Looking good. It's a pretty good crosswind right now, so it'll test my metal a little bit here. Pretty close here. Trying to beam the numbers. All right, so let's back it off. I'm gonna back it up to around 3,200 RPM, something like that. Then I'm gonna trim for that descent, and then put in my full flaps. That airspeed up. Okay, we're at 61. I'm taking to starting to...
Mike, roger, frequency change approved.
Starting to come in a little bit slower. I have been. All right, turning my base. Back off the power even more. $63 miles an hour. 62. Nice descent. No fore or aft pressure on the stick. Got a really good trim here. 64. All right, turning final. Nice slow arc. $62 miles an hour. Checking all my gauges, everything's looking good. Oh, that crosswind's pretty good. That's robust. Okay, we'll just establish a crab here a little bit. 60 miles an hour. Short final here. Backing off on the power now. All the way to the end, stay with you, 7-0 Takeoff.
Kenosha information, November current.
So I landed a little bit flat there. Had a little bit more speed because of the crosswind. But I'll tell you, the BushCat handles the crosswinds like really quite nicely. It's got plenty of rudder. You can definitely hold it, even if it's 20 knots direct. You'll be fine in a BushCat. It is not squirrely at all. I think the worst crosswind I've ever had was a direct 25 knot. And I'll tell you, I hardly had to correct for it. I mean, it was that nice. All right, we're going to do the fuel pumps here. And I think we'll bring this video to a close. Thanks for flying with me. I hope some of the information I shared with you was helpful to give you an idea of what it's like to fly in a BushCat. And if you haven't gotten yours yet, you need to order one. Okay. Until next time. Bob, how'd you do? Yeah?
I'm hungry. I want some food.
You look a little tired.
Give me something to eat.
All right, everybody, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.